people who are here who are worried about coming under attack. We have the caravan that we were originally searching for that is just north of here, I think.
Yeah, like northwest is one rumored to be in the Gall Grass.
Yes, but the other thing that's right near here is Vickers Beach, I believe.
Yep.
Which is where that body was supposed to be.
The replacement body.
Yeah,
the note I have is we're reuniting at the Vickers Beach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in terms of I think what would happen narratively, I think the first thing I would say to Saffron is about that body, and then I guess in terms of pressing narrative, to me it feels as though these travelers that you've met that need protection are the time pressure, the time sensitive thing here. We could just go from there if that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, we can start that that you moved up the hills and you're at this moving village, which is like this big walker. Saffron, the cybernetic prairie dog, and Hamish McRainbow, the folk hero with the rainbow beard. Azure D, which is a hulked out witch, and Nida, the survivor and a member of the Far Side. You're all in the walking village and need to discuss what to do next.
Oh, Saffron, you're here. Good, we found you. There's listen, you know how you told me to keep an ear to the ground for you? There's supposed to be some kind of artificial body somewhere around here on Vickers Beach, even.
I kind of blink a few times, my prairie dog eyes, and
I'll never get used to that.
That went far better than I expected.
Everything in town went far better than expected. It was all great. There were no troubles, none whatsoever. As he looks over at Azure D.
Pan over to Azure.
I don't know how we go about finding that, but what about these? Who's this lot that you've found around here?
Well, there are some lovely people. They're traveling back to Spectrum Run. They have a bunch of sacks of Karma's dust comet dust that they need to get to the satraps there.
Oh, nice. You, I imagine you've told them the good way that we traveled down, right? And how to get back and all of that Legion stuff. Do we know that you're in the Legion, actually? That's the question.
Of course.
Okay, good.
But by this point, considering that I'm traveling with a member of the Legion, considering how many times you've seen me on rooftops and sniping people, it's not one of those things that we necessarily hide from people we travel with, because it's kind of difficult. And the rifles kind of give us away anyway. Sort of like wander around with, Mandalorian battle armor.
Well, I mean, should we go have a look for this body and then check out where these purple landers might be?
Austin's looks worried. Austin's the snipe shoots another worried glance at Nida.
So Austin's, even though he didn't say anything, is right. If that body is at the Vickers Beach, it's probably going to stay there, at least for a little bit. And we can check out what happened with the Purple Landers, considering that we have an idea of what happened and the wagons were found undamaged, but with no way to move them.
Just two clarifications. There are I think the villagers in the walking village, they talked about the Greenlanders. The Greenlanders.
Right. The Greenlanders wagons were in the water.
They were at Boulder Fort, I believe.
Yeah, I think that the Zuzu, was it Zuzu or Burr? Yeah, Zuzu, who told you that, she corrected herself and said it was the Garnet Fort. Boulder Fort is, and the Garnet Fort is at the. Let me have a look at the map. If you scroll down, the Garnet Fort is at the Wine River, and the Boulder Fort is at the Teal River.
Okay.
So the Garnet Fort is where they passed the records 3 days previously.
Yes, okay. she was mistaken. And then what you know about the Purple Landers is that they were settlers, and they mentioned that they wanted to settle down at the Gall Grass.
So we check out the Gall Grass, and then we can work our way to the east past the Wine River to check out the Garnet Fort in terms of our caravan mission. You say that what was it on Vickers Beach that, I mean, you know, Hamish is fine to go on without the body. He's just doing Saffron a favor, really. But I can't remember what was on the,
We can come back to Vickers Beach.
Okay, well, I'm just saying we've had a lot of artificial bodies, and they seem to keep going.
They do kind of keep walking away.
I'm sure another one will turn up, though, the way things are going.
But from what we saw on Vickers Beach, it's these like big sculptures that maybe there's a way inside. So it's more like ruins to explore rather than something.
Right.
So that's I agree that maybe we're better off handling urgent business and then exploring.
Yeah,
and I walk up and put a hand, you know, I'll even take a knee and put a hand on Saffron's prairie dog's shoulder and say, listen, you know, I will help you find a body for your mother. We found a body for you.
We'll figure it out.
I tend not to stop at such things.
Right then, well, should we be off to check out the Gall Grass and the Purple Landers then?
Well, I'd also like to
will
make
these
sure
folks be good? And I point back at the weird walker that had given us a ride.
And I give you a look that says, it's one of those looks that you know from NIDA is basically saying they're going to need a little bit of help.
But you didn't want to think about it.
Well, I just didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't know if any of them were quite an earshot.
Yeah.
So how many people are we traveling with in our cohort at this point?
Do you mean the villagers itself?
No, in terms of our party.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, let's count them.
Let me pull up
Hamish,
the character keeper here. Should have that up. So go ahead.
Hamish was already counting, or Will was counting.
Yeah, and then I was like, "What? We have this many? Like, what? Is Babette?
We don't have the spare body anymore.
Okay, and we have Icing Matilda as well. Wow.
No, Icing Matilda is not part of the party.
Oh, we don't have Johnny Seven either. So we have
Austin's, Babette,
yes,
Umberto.
13. 13 from the looks of things.
All right, because let's see. Let me just.
Is that true? That it can't be true.
We don't have if we have everyone but Icing Matilda. We don't have Shiver Uber. Is that
okay?
With us? So
we have Vigo, the Wicker Golem, Umberto, Babeth, Austin's, the Metal Golem. We're at 6 there. We have 4 halflings of Thomas Iosef and 2 more. So that gets us up to 10.
And then don't we have? Oh no, sorry. I've been counting other other NPCs.
The NPC. We've got the retainers section on the NPCs in places tab. Yes. Then we have the helpers on the caravan tab, which is the more up to date and current.
Oh, I see. Well, we have at least 10.
Which reminds me, we haven't done any kind of subtracting rations lately, because it turned from the point crawly bit to the hex crawly stuff. But I do think that by the time now, a week must have passed.
Okay. So that is 4 rations for, or 4 rations for each of us, correct?
I think. Do you still have the marrow beads?
We do. We have
Because
12 sacks of those.
yeah, because they have like they last double, let's say.
Right. Actually, it's 3 weeks rations per sack.
Mm-hmm.
So are we feeding Vigo, or does Vigo have his own food?
He doesn't. He's part of the.
Okay, so that's 5. Wicker Golem doesn't eat. The Metal Golem doesn't eat. Are we feeding Umberto?
I hope so.
There's 6. So we're feeding Babeth, Austin's, and the halflings as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. Shall we? Because the halflings, they were part of what's his face? Like the caravan
From
leader.
the Jade Baobab.
Yes, they made friends with what's the name of our caravan leader? Forgot.
Oh, he's back at the Jade Baobab. Give me a second here.
So I would say that they blend into the background as long as you know the PC
like
is
polishing a side of a wagon, or like fiddling with something, or
Tall
packing
Master
away.
Iosif.
Yes. So I would assume that you don't have to feed them, but they also you don't get the benefit from them.
Okay.
And
Are
then
they do they have any kind of combat skills?
Well, sure.
So what I'm wondering here is, can we send the halflings along with the walking village and tell them to meet up with us at Spectrum Run, since it's very likely we'll be going back that way since we headed back north?
Cool. That was the second clarification. They said that they are planning to go to the Spectrum Palace, which is a different place in the west.
All right, let me look at the map.
Yeah, that is a good idea. If you look at the map tab.
It's so weird to me that we're scrolling down to go west.
Yeah,
it feels like this is going to the south.
Yeah, it's not. It's going west.
Okay, so we are in 3 sticks.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to hit up.
End up at Spectrum Palace.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to pass back through Spectrum Palace, and it'd be easy to pass back through Spectrum Run even. But I think what makes sense, considering that Gall Grass is another point crawl as opposed to the bit of the hex crawl, if I'm looking at the map correctly.
Yeah, the map is, I think, misleading. Gall Grass is on the 3 sticks map. So
Okay.
if you go, I don't know, is it on our little hex
It's
map?
let's see. Well, there's the Gravel River.
Yeah,
the Boulder Fort is correct.
It's around the Sky, in between the Sky River and the Gravel River is the Gall Grass.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
It's right where we are right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can imagine the point on our zoomed in map versus that. Like there's maybe a little separation, but then like if we keep going in that direction, then we'll eventually get to refracting trees.
Yes, exactly.
It's kind of how I see that.
Yeah,
okay.
Me too.
So how about this in terms of settling up with the bookkeeping? Because, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff to keep track of around here. So we're feeding Vigo, Umberto, Babeth, Austin's. There's us, so that's 8.
Yes.
So what do you say we subtract 3 sacks of marrow beets because that'll be 9 rations, and that'll cover an extra day or so that we forgot to keep track of. Sound right? Sound okay?
That sounds perfect. You also have to fuel the auto wagons.
Yes. And that is, we have, how many auto wagons do we have?
3.
3 auto wagons. Okay, so we have 18 supplies that have basically been tucked away for gas. So we'll go 15 there, and we are caught up, more or less.
Yes, nice.
Thank you, Puckett.
Yeah, you're the best.
No, Umberto's the best. Well, what I was thinking is, So we can send the halflings and not notice anything. Do we want to send Umberto with them, since he's the best?
I mean, Umberto will listen to you, but he's not. At the moment, I imagine him. Do you know the film Wages of, what is it, with, you know, that there's this truck trying
Nicolas
to...
Cage?
Wages of Fear.
No, Wages of Fear.
Yeah, great movie.
Where they're trying to transport Quicksilver or something, not something explosive.
It's liquid nitroglycerin.
Yes, yes, that's it. So he's sitting behind the wheel, sweating, and he's completely way over his head, driving slowly up the forest road.
I don't want to say goodbye to Umberto.
Okay.
I mean, are we? So they're worried about spending the night, right? Like they're worried about we can catch up with them on the road if we're going that way.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I just want to make sure they've got.
Well, I think if we're going to send off, we should send off Umberto Babeth as well. Maybe Austin feels like he's part of this mission.
Austin is definitely part.
But if we send off like the bulk of the caravan, maybe, and we keep our auto wagon, and I know we won't be able to like dungeon raid, but like we'll be able to try and help these caravanners that we're looking for and be more like mobile and be able to catch up with the caravan back en route.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
The Redlander truck will be the most maneuverable.
So we send off the caravan to travel with these guys to Spectrum Thingy, Spectrum Palace, and then we do like adventuring party satellite operation back and forwards, deal with the caravans, maybe pop in on Vickers Beach for a bit of dungeon crawling and then meet up, or we can see how badly messed up we get on our caravan rescues. Just suggestion, I'm open to, if you want to do it all as a caravan together, I
mean, they're on a deadline, right, Horst?
Yes, they have to get there. I mean, in order to make profit, which is what they want to do.
Ooh, we could
load on the Redlander truck. Have a couple of our people take the Redlander truck and get it there, just lickety split and come back.
I'm not sure the Redlander truck will be big enough to carry all that stuff if they're like a mobile village.
No, they've got 9 sacks to get there.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, the village doesn't need to get there. The 9 sacks need to get there. Is that right?
Yeah, but the risk is not about them expiring, is it, so much as them getting killed? Because they're the
Redlander truck fast. Got the I
know, but then the villagers are still in the badlands of the EVG with us. You know what I mean? Like we're still in danger as opposed to being sent to safety. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. That village also turtles up. It's a defensive fortress. They just don't have a whole lot of guns to fend anything off.
Okay. I mean, sure. Send off the Redlander truck with the stuff and leave our caravan here on the road and we walk to the places, or we travel all in the caravan with the village with us.
Chris, Abe, what are you thinking here? Either of you have any thoughts?
I'll go with the flow. Whatever the party's down for, I'm good with.
I mean, I get the feeling that I get the feeling I'm missing something in looking at the solutions here, because I think Will's onto something with basically trying to get them to safety or somehow secure them.
Well, I'll walk you through my thinking. Right, my thinking is they're in danger.
Yes,
right? That's what they've said to us. We've got people who we're looking for to save. Right, we do have a whole caravan, which is our kind of like traveling across the point crawl.
Yeah,
but I feel like in the hex crawl, the caravan is more of a liability in terms of its size, its weight, its ungainliness. that kind of thing, than us being in a auto wagon with a Gatling gun and sweeping in like big damn heroes to whatever situation we go in, whilst we, our caravan and our people defending said caravan with the villagers are making their slower way to a place that we wouldn't mind ending up anyways, the Spectrum Palace. And, we take care of the lost caravanners whilst the bulk of our force goes off, our supply chain, effectively.
Okay.
If we were an army, we're separating our supply chain from our forces at this point and then rejoining later on.
So
if that makes sense.
Yes. And I have a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, what do we do if we find people who want to join us, who like the survivors of these caravans who want to join us, or if we wind up with sacks of loot that we need to take?
Well, loot is I am making, that would be the compromise in terms of the bar benefits, because we'll be able to carry less. I think we'll still be able to carry quite a lot. We don't need the money, you know what I mean? So like, we're not looking to haul away so much stuff, so much as interesting things.
Right.
So like, I don't feel like we've got lots of space. And in terms of people, we could take those canoes with us, and at least there's some level of, it depends on how many people we end up with, right? These were caravans, so they did have some sort of transport when they got there in the first place. If it becomes a whole kind of, they're stranded and they need some sort of help, then we can tackle that problem when we come to it. We can bring the canoes along. It may then turn into us like one of us goes off to, get one of the auto wagons back here while the rest of us defend the people we've rescued, or we have no idea what the situation might be, right? But I'm just, there is a cost benefit, I suppose. Yeah. Flexibility versus carrying space, really.
Yeah, because it's
when you
go ahead.
Oh, go on.
I was just going to say the Redlander truck
just
has
wanted to say
of 9, so
it's got quite a lot of space. So 9 is
when you
plenty. Sorry, go on, horse. Sorry,
please, horse.
There's just the lag that no, you go. No, I go. So any case, I made a couple of rolls, and one of the rolls determined that when you climbed up the hill, like when you arrived at the beach, you haven't seen any canoes. That's the first thing.
Okay.
And the second thing is right when you entered the walker, there was a glowing fog outside that was rising from the ground.
Okay. I do think that it's better to take these people on their way rather than deeper into trouble with us. That's ultimately my pitch and the flexibility and stuff,
Gotcha.
Should we do a vote? Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
The last question I had for you, Will, was, and quite frankly, because you were talking about, coming back in on the Redlander's auto wagon, and did you say big damn heroes or big dumb heroes?
I mean, there is so little difference between the two.
I'm sold. Let's do it.
Nice.
Okay. So what's the plan?
All right, let's get all this sorted, and anything that we need off the wagons before we part ways. I mean, cocks a shotgun.
I will move a crate of my grenades to the Redlander truck. How many grenades are in each crate?
10.
10.
I have plenty of grenades as well.
Not to distract from your power fantasies of blowing stuff up, but in case we get separated for a while or have to be on our own, should we pack up both some coin, some cash, and some food on our end?
We should absolutely bring food.
Because there's a of cash on the caravan, and it would not be too hard to pack a stash to bring along with us to buy our way wherever we need to get back to the caravan.
Yeah, cool. 10 grand maybe.
Even like 2 grand is probably plenty for, like, we don't need to buy trade goods. We just need to be able to buy lodging and protection.
Yeah.
It was more I looked at how much cash we had and was like, 2 grand. Well, thought it 10.
Okay, so quick question. What kind of encumbrance are we looking at with coin? Or are we going to deal with that, and are we just going to hand wave that?
We can hand wave it. I'm not sure if this what the official rule is, but I mean, it could theoretically be like 1 brick with a print on and it says 10,000.
Can I put in a huge vote for we hand wave the weight of cash?
Yeah.
And let's keep 3 sacks of the
marrow beads.
You know what?
Or
I'm gonna say 4. Because that'll be 2 weeks. And we'll keep 2 weeks worth of gas. Does that seem about right, Chris? Because you were the one who correctly pointed out we should probably keep some stuff on hand just to preserve.
That gets us to the nearest. That gets us coverage to get to the nearest place where we can buy more, or if we get very off track and we have to go point crawling somewhere.
Yeah.
How much remains on the main caravan?
All right, so
15 gas according to the sheet.
Yeah, let me flip over.
So minus.
So you know, let me put this down in the notes here. So
yeah.
And Horst, what were you calling Suzu's wandering village?
It is called. Well, they call themselves the Survivalists.
Suzu's Survivalists. Okay. So we are keeping the Redlander truck with 6 sacks of marrow beets, two weeks gas, and 2,000 coin. No, let's say 5,000. Is that okay? Because that's what's the difference between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So we have the bone auto wagons heading onward. And that is with 6 sacks of marrow beets. Excuse me. Let me go back and look at that. We're keeping 3 sacks of marrow beets because that'll give us 2 weeks. So there's 6 sacks remaining on the bone wagons. And 13 weeks of gas. $37K coin. I gotta say, of everything, I am most nervous about sending that much coin on with the auto.
That was definitely part of my thought process too, is like, ooh boy, we have a lot of money in that, both coin and still some trade goods left on there of high values.
It's fine. We're in the hex crawl stage. It'll take them the whole time for us to finish our crawl before we
Hang on 2 seconds here.
So before we set off, though, we did mention that you wanted to give me my armor before we left the caravan. Maybe
we can figure that out. Yes.
All right.
Yes, armor.
While folks in the party aren't looking, Knight is going to stash the majority of the coin with us.
There's 5,000 we know about, and then you've got ill-defined most of the money, basically. Nice.
Yeah, like I just put in the notes, like I'll send 2K coin on with the bone auto wagon, and we'll keep 40K because if worst comes to worst, we can get more auto wagons.
True. And I guess we're traveling on with Austin's as well, because you seem to be quite invested in the caravan.
Austin has to come with us.
Yes.
Horst, do you have those armor stats for the fancy suit that I have yet to see?
Yes, it is AC5.
AC5?
It's cumbersome.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I wanted to copy that into the character keeper, and I didn't because I'm a bad person.
That's all right. If you just read it out, I'll just write it down. I got AC5, cumbersome.
And let's see. I need to go back to. Oh no, actually, it's forward because everything's weird here. Maze of Light, Gemstone Tomb in the Lake of Oil. Which is the best name of a dungeon ever, I personally think. Let's see.
It was really cool. Second we saw it, we knew we had to save it for you.
So it is a suit of golem armor of glistening brown metal and sharp red crystal.
Nice. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful.
Do you put it on?
Hey, yeah. Umberto, you can have my dryland weave. It's fine. I'm going to be taking this bad boy out.
I see like the glimmer of it, and I'm like, Hamish, don't let it get to your head.
What? And he stands in a hero pose.
So
you see, Hamish, now you look like the hero that you already were.
The moment you put on the helmet, though, you have to make a saving throw.
Ooh. Okay.
You feel both your strength and your HP raising, but something else happens.
Okay.
You're fusing with the suit of armor. You're
that's the 17.
Possessed.
You fall unconscious. So the rest of the people, they just see the Hamish donning the hero pose and then just falling to the side.
God damn it! I'm going to nudge him with my foot.
There's no reaction. Nida, do you remember the circumstances you found the armor in?
Well, those circumstances were relayed to me secondhand, but there was a consciousness in a body in the armor, saying that it had to get a message to the Free Will Collective, if I remember correctly, which was we don't even know what it was because it's so long ago.
The person inside the armor was also unconscious for like 10,000 of years.
I'm going to take the helmet off of him.
You wake up. Hamish, your dreams were you were dreaming being inside of a cave, and there was like a green glowing portal that was the portal was standing freely inside the cave, and that was the only exit. And there was some kind of like radiation ghosts floating around. That was your dream.
Okay. Oh. Oh, sorry. I guess I hit the bottle a bit too much last night. Come on, Ira, pass me the helmet. We repeat, go back, and then I'm like, this just isn't working out. I mean, did you have a receipt for it still? And I guess I get changed back into my dryland weave armor because I can't see a way of using this without being rendered immobile.
Well, every time you put on the helmet, you have to make a saving throw. I don't know if it's worth it.
Can I try? I'm all hopped up. Do you mind him?
I mean,
not literally knock yourself out.
Yeah, Azure, make a saving throw.
All right. What am I? It's D20.
It gets us a D20, and
I'm shooting for like 9 or whatever my ST is, right?
Yes, exactly.
I remembered this week.
Yay!
No. Oh, my ST is 9. All right. Well, wish
That's
me
pretty
luck.
good.
We can always slap you awake if you.
True. Go with orange this week. 20. Is that a critical fail?
That is a fail. It's,
do I pee myself? I've collapsed.
I think yeah, your dream state, like I assume that the others try to wake you up, and it doesn't seem to have any effect for the time being. And your dream is a little bit different. So you're inside one of these sarcophagi, if that is the plural of sarcophagus, that you find. Let me remember, what was the first place where you find a vile organ? Do you remember? Was it in Saffron? Sorry, in Johnny 7?
It
was different.
Hold on a second. Let me look. I started with one, right? And crap, hold on. I started with one. Was it Johnny 7?
I think that was already the second one. Well, in any case, it doesn't really matter. So it's just the type of sarcophagus. So it's this. It's lead. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have any kind of symbols or something on. And you're lying inside, and there's just this small, like visor type, like heavy glass, crystal glass that you can see your surrounding in. And it's a very unpleasant, claustrophobic experience.
Can I do anything in the dream? Lucid, or am I just watching?
No, it is a lucid dream. The problem is you're inside the sarcophagus and you can't get out, which is worse than just experiencing things. So you can try to press against the lid. You can bang against the walls. You're free to do whatever you want, but you're trapped.
There's no way to break out of it, like through any mechanic, or it's just the dream is I'm trapped in this thing.
Just as the vile parts are also trapped in these sarcophagi, there's no way to break it from the inside. We have to see if the others manage to wake you up.
All right. So in my dream sequence, you'll see that the camera comes to the outside of the sarcophagus, and my eyes kind of flitter open, and they look around a little bit. And then they get all big and panicked looking, and then you just start hearing thuds all over the place, and you hear muffled screaming.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. So Hamish, Saffron, Nida, what do you do?
I sigh and pull the helmet off of Azure.
Yeah, and I gently slap her face.
You can see that she has like a very uneasy dream.
Yeah. So
Vigo.
I think Vigo and the rest of the caravans, the auto wagons, just arrived on the road, and he's led inside by one of the villager guards. And he says, "It's crazy out there. You can't see the hand in front of your eye."
So you reckon we're gonna have to stand camp for the night, see if it breaks?
I don't know if
We can't drive if we can't see, can we?
I can't imagine wanting to try to move around in this.
Right. Well, let's circle the wagons then, and help Azir out of that damn thing.
Vigo, you wake her up. She's Hamish. You talk to Vigo about whatever you saw with that helmet thing. Here's the helmet.
Hamish holds it like far away, maybe with the hilt of his fractal blade. Yeah.
So, Vigo looks at Nida. Let me see, what would he do? NPC in places. What is Vigo good at? His advantage in combat with the dead, and always has wheat. Doesn't help.
Well, I'm thinking that he's had experience with spiritual, ghostly stuff.
Yes.
That is part of what he does. He's a ghost hunter, right?
That is true. But Nida is not a ghost.
No.
I mean,
but Azure D might be possessed by a ghost in some
way. That is true. That is true. Yeah, well, so Vigo sits down next to her, puts her head in his lap, and puts his hands on her forehead, and then sings a tune, has his eyes closed, and tries to sense her spirits. What is the rest doing? So you circle the wagons.
I'm looking at this mist, and I'm asking Susu if they know anything about it.
Susu says, "We heard about this weird weather phenomena that come from the three sticks. You know, these three gigantic columns. Have you seen them?"
Not yet. But this is where we're supposed to be, so.
The weather is changing depending on, I don't know, the people from Jade Baobab said, depending on the vibration mode or something.
Did they say anything about what this golden mist means or does?
So it's not necessarily a golden mist. Let me read out what it is. It says, a luminescent fog which glows brightly even at night. Nearby objects are very clearly visible, but the bright fog occludes everything beyond about 30 meters. So I think in theory you could probably drive as long as you stick to the road.
I think that'd be a terrible idea for a caravan to head out, though, because you lose sight of it. You could lose sight of each other very easily.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we need to wake Azure up and dig in for the night, I guess.
Yep. Or dig in for the night and spend that time trying to wake Azure up.
Well, yeah, both.
It could take longer than just a few minutes, but
yeah. I empty
my wagon to load up.
I empty my canteen over Azure's face.
So Vigo says, I can't sense her.
Wait, Hamish, you had a weird dream when you put on the
I mean,
helmet?
I get weird dreams all the time, yeah. But this one was
Sure.
new. It was like a green portal, and there were like ghostly things around, like ultras maybe or something. But it was all a bit weird. And then the next thing you knew, I was awake. So don't know what's wrong with
I
this.
don't know if you were. I don't think that was a. That might not have been a dream. A dream is something that happens inside your head.
When you say that, Saffron, something is triggered in your brain. Like when you looked at these weird structures on the beach, like yesterday evening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's as if there's a subroutine that was started in your brain, and you don't really know whether it's your machine human program that is executed, or it's something in like the DNA of the cybernetic prairie dog. But now, just when you said something is happening in your brain or something, you do remember that the structures, the sculptures, as I called them, they're like these multicolored gravel dunes that were put together by these autodosers.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have a meaning. That they seem to signal something that human beings cannot fathom. But there's something like on the tip of your tongue, the meaning of it all.
Yeah, I think I kind of like fall silent for a little bit, and kind of like my face is like, after I, said the bit about I don't think it's a dream.
How about we give her some of that golden amber? Maybe that'll wake her up. Go on, she's got a stash somewhere.
Yeah, you search. I mean, you have to take her out of the. Or maybe it's probably in her rucksack or something.
Yeah, I do think that we've been stripping her of this armor as much as possible. As we do this.
Yes, and you do find her last stash. Abe, how much do you have still on you? 3, I think.
Let me look.
Or more. I remember that you reached into the sack and you put out a handful, but you definitely used one last time when you were in prison.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have 13, so I'll just say I have 12. I'll assume that I didn't count that last one because I'm terrible at bookkeeping. So I have 12.
Holy shit! So you don't find the stash on her. It's literally a sack on the in one of the auto wagons.
Oh yeah, but she's probably got a little bit on her. You know what addicts are like always carrying.
Yes.
And,
I have a couple on hand, I think.
Yeah, I administer it in the hope that.
How do you administer it? It's like a. It looks a bit the size of like a coin, I would say, and it has this. It looks like what's it called? Don't have the English word for it. Fossilized tree juice. What is that in English? Amber. Yeah, it's called amber. I'm so stupid. Obviously.
Sap.
So what do you do?
I mean, how do you normally? You swallow it normally?
No, you put it under the tongue.
I put it under the tongue.
Mm-hmm. So you reach inside her mouth, and you can see that when the amber is inside her mouth, there are these small spiky things that protrudes from it, and when you put it under the tongue, you see like little blood droplets appearing. And Azure, make a saving throw with advantage. It's like a jolt to the system.
Make a saving throw.
Yes, with advantage. Let's 2d20 and take the result.
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you will.
I rolled the green one on accident, but
that's okay. You will wake up regardless. It's more like, will the effect be lasting?
What effect?
The effect of this like sleepiness and like being drugged up by the
Oh, I see.
The lasting effect of the armor.
So now I'm awake. I'm back amongst the living after having a terrifying nightmare.
What did you roll?
Did Horst drop out?
No, we can hear Horst and we can hear you. But you don't appear to be hearing Horst.
No. What's going on?
I was not hearing Horst.
He's asking what did you roll on the saving throw?
What? You can't hear me? So strange.
Nope. No,
Okay.
I didn't. It's 11.
So you didn't hear him say that you can't hear him? That's so strange?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay.
I heard him ask for a roll, and then I said I rolled an 11. Did you guys hear that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. That must be the like how people feel when they're gaslighted. Like you say something and you're talking to the void.
I'm glad I thought of that.
Okay. So yeah, you like in your dream, there's like inside of the sarcophagus, there is this warm, fuzzy, golden explosion that just breaks the leaden shell of the sarcophagus, and you wake up. But as you failed your save, we need to see which only of your stats will be affected. It is probably, I want to say wisdom or intelligent or charisma. What is like being awake?
Azure was so charming.
Yeah, she's still charming. I would say intelligence. Let's roll a d4 and subtract that from your intelligence score, because it's the ability to focus on something, logical thing.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay, I have 11 intelligence now. Will the lack of focus put my like oracles on the line?
No, I think the oracles is more of like an instinctive thing. Okay. It's more like wisdom related, if anything.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, great. Smart. That's the one characteristic I can spare. So I'm like, okay, cool.
So we're agreed that maybe nobody should try putting the helmet on again.
Maybe let's leave it for a bit, and I don't think it's a nice piece and everything, but maybe we can put it in a case somewhere or like strap it on front of a car. We could sell it. I mean, yeah, we could definitely sell it. But for now, let's keep an eye out for any beasties out in the fog, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you got a suit of armor.
I appreciate the thought, Nida. I really do appreciate the thought, honestly.
Nothing stopping you from wearing the flashy armor bits and
you still get a bonus from the armor
beard out.
Do I? I mean, I don't want to like go through the whole mechanics of piecemeal armor. Like I have a feeling that it's only worth the AC5 if it's got the helmet on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to say that without the helmet, it's AC4.
Okay, sure.
So you still get cool golden armor.
Exactly. Yeah. And you still would get the strength and life boost. So when you wear the armor, you have a temporary boost of +1 on your strength and a temporary boost of D4 HP.
Okay. That's 2 HP. Nice. Thank you, host.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Has my strength gone up any? Because I don't think it did last time after I got pumped, like when I went China mode. Did it?
Yeah, I told you to
That's
increase it by 1.
Never mind.
Yeah, which is maybe fictionally a bit not enough to represent how you look like. So you're really a muscular. You're the I think in the session report I said Bulgarian weightlifter on steroids.
Yes.
So there's an argument for, but I don't. I mean, maybe there's another boost down the line. Let's see.
All right.
You need to figure out how to use them. You have a lot of muscles, but
you're like, yeah, you're really, really strong, but uncoordinated compared, like not used to being weaker, right? Because it didn't happen after months of training. It happened in one
these
crazy
muscles
mutation.
are so heavy. What do I do with them?
So it's actually noon, and the villagers, some of the villagers go outside to gather wood. I think we established last time that they have these campfires inside the walker. And what do you do? I mean, do you hunker down for the night?
I think it makes sense to hunker down, but does the village have ladders, like rope ladders going down to the ground, so it's elevated for security?
Yes. So all the entrances are higher up.
Okay. So I think what I'm going to nudge Austin's to do along with me is to go outside with our rifles and provide overwatch for the villagers gathering wood for the fires.
Cool. So we see Nida and Austin's climbing up on top of the walker, and Austin's pierced through his scope. Pocket, just make like a wisdom test to see how successful you are. I mean, you're keeping them in your sight, but maybe you see something hidden.
Yeah, give me a second to pull up the roll for your party link. And let's see, wisdom is flipping back over that tab. Wisdom is 10. Is this a roll I can make with advantage I think it ties into my Yellow Lander stuff?
I mean, you're literally a scope. That's your title. So I would say yes.
Okay, so 2d20. Four and 7, both under 10.
Nice. So just on the edge of this glowing fog, you see the weirdest thing. Behind a tree hiding, there is what seems to be somebody in like I would say it's a beige coat or like a robe maybe. And when you try to focus on the face, they're faceless. Someone hiding behind a tree with a... I don't want to say trench coat because that sounds too anachronistic, but it is definitely a trench coat.
And a beige robe. No face. Is Swift Stab still with us?
He disappeared together with the canoes. And you don't know if he just, traveled back because he didn't want to wait for you, or something happened to him.
Okay. Who is the stealthiest in our party?
Not me. Probably you or Azure.
I mean, with 16,
What's the stats? Is it
is it
Dex?
Dex?
Yeah,
Probably.
Mhm.
I have a
Then-
Dex of 16, but I'm
I don't understand how the Incredible Hulk can be the stealthiest of us. But you know, I will kind of stick my head into the village and ask Azure to sneak out there and see what's up.
okay. No problem. So I've got a golden. I've got a what do you call it? I've got a golden amber dug into
Under
my
your
tongue
tongue.
right now. Correct?
That's true. And you feel the buzz.
Is it dug in or is it still removable?
They dig in right away, don't they?
Yeah,
Like
well, you can remove it like 10 minutes after application. After that, I mean, it is removable all the time, but once it really takes root, you take you have to take damage. Like it really hurts to take it out.
Yeah, and it's way past 10 minutes.
All right, that's cool. No, I was just wondering what happens if I put in another one. Would I die?
You can always try. I mean,
Would it
sure.
would it give me any more advantage than I already have?
You don't know unless you try it.
Are there any mechanics in UVG for overdosing?
There are.
Mhm.
Aren't there?
Sure, they are.
Will's just sitting there grinning at all this. It's like there's this smirk on his face, like I'm
just resisting the urge to be like, drugs, the answer to all of our problems.
He's just like, my name is Hamish and I'm not in this.
Yeah, I mean, Hamish likes to drink a lot and get high, but I don't think he's on the level of I'm going to shoot myself full of golden amber to try and sneak up on somebody.
In a trench coat behind a tree.
Just imagining like a meth head running out, like screaming, trying to like sneak up on somebody.
Because as we all know, tweakers are the stealthiest of all.
So, what do you do?
You know what? I think maybe it'd probably be a bit much to push it. As much as I'd like to redline and have a small trickle of blood come from my nose as I collapse, I'll just go out there with what I've got. I think I'm good, and then I will creep over and see if I can stealth up on this guy. But I will, because I'm all jacked up. When I step outside, I'm gonna use mud and nearby foliage to kind of cover myself, coat myself in it, so I feel like I'm stealthy, even though I'm giant.
Nice. So yeah, you can get the mud on, and the leaves will stuck to your robes. And yeah, you're sneaking. I mean, Nida pointed out where the figure was.
Right.
And I assume you climbed down on the other side, so
Yes.
they don't see you.
Yep. I'm going to flank them.
And I think because of the because of your camouflage and the fog, I don't even think that there's a roll involved.
Sweet.
So you sneak up onto, you're like one tree away from that person, and you can see them more clearly because, as I said, within the fog everything is pretty clear. It's just from 30 meters away you lose sight, and you can see that they are holding some kind of binoculars, I would say. You can see from the side that where there should be a face, the whole face is covered by some kind of mold. And they're mold, M-O-L-D.
Right. Okay.
Like
and they're
plant mold?
Yes, like plant mold. And they do wear, I don't know, is it called a fedora? Something that Humphrey Bogart would wear?
That's a fedora.
That's a fedora. That is what they wear.
That's grounds for an ass kicking right there. So I think that's where I'm going with this.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has
moldy
Milady.
Valentine.
So, Azure, what do you do?
I'm going to continue to. I'm gonna surveil this person since they're not wise to me, and see what they're up to.
So, to give you a little bit of a perspective, you are in the lower hair woods, which the trees itself are pretty disgusting. They are these red, fleshy trunks, and instead of leaves, they have this gray, blonde, hairy stuff hanging from it. The person you're observing, or the creature you're observing, I guess, seems to sway a little. Like the whole, they don't seem to be able to stand straight, which is weird. Yeah, that is, I think, what you get from just observing them, like with your eyeballs.
All right, so they're not. They are not. They're not. Are they like? Do they have binoculars? Are they just staring out?
Yeah. They have these. Exactly, they have binoculars, and once in a while they're holding the binoculars against their face, although there are clearly no eyes. And once in a while they set them up. They set them down. They pull out some kind of notebook, writing something down, which you can't really see what it is, and then they look again.
All right. Well, I'm going to pounce on them, beat the crap out of them.
So you sneak up. I think this is a bit different to you're sneaking up to attack them.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll just try to restrain them. Maybe I won't beat them to death yet. You know, if they get hostile, I will.
So on the way, it's like 3 or 4 like steps to get there. Is it slowly and sneakily? And there's this hairy leaves on the ground. Is it like quick and dirty? What's the approach?
I'll go with the stealthy approach.
So I think that warrants a dexterity check.
Okay. D20.
Equal or under your dex score?
That I got. This time I made it.
Nice. And they're clearly so enamored with observing the village that they don't hear you. So you're next to them. What do? You grab them and restrain them? Do you prevent them?
I put them in like a full Nelson from behind, like my arms up and then push their head down like in a full Nelson mode. And maybe step on the back of their knee so they go down.
Cool. So let's see. Let's make because they are they're trying to break free from the grip. Let's make an opposed check. So they check their strength. I'm just rolling. I don't have the dice roller open. I just rolled it here on my table. That is a success. Is it a 1 or a 7? It's a 7. So what do you get? If you roll higher than them but under your strength, you restrain them.
If I roll from 8 to whatever my strength is, what is my strength?
Yeah,
14. Between 8 and 14, I win.
Yes, and if you roll a 7, then it's like
you're
still struggling.
I rolled an 8.
Nice. So you get them in a grip. They can't escape, and you hear a voice that speaks, Rainbow Landish, but with a distinct what's called blue tongue, I think.
It's called what?
A blue tongue. So they speak the language of the blue god, which is I don't have to remind you.
It's my people.
that's your people, so to speak.
Right.
So it's the language that you would use at rituals and stuff.
Right.
And they say, let go of me. I have not done anything wrong. They also, I can't do it, but they seem almost drunk or slightly like tipsy or something.
And I've never seen this type of person before, like this mold-faced type. They're not familiar to me.
No, I've never seen a mold-faced person before.
I keep them restrained. I'm like, what are you doing here? Why are you watching us? In blue god tongue.
Oh, so he switches and he says, looking for danger, of course.
What are you here for? Why are you looking for danger?
Well, there are many threats to Rudolph.
Ah, who is this Rudolph? Is he one of the blue god's chosen ones?
No.
Well, who is he?
Well, he's our leader. He's the colony.
He's what?
The colony.
He's the colony.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me go.
Can you give me 1 second? My son needs me. You want to bounce to somewhere else for a second?
Yeah. So we can go back to Nida, who sees the struggle through her scope. I think Azure dragged them a bit closer to within your line of sight.
I got him. Just, it's one of those things that, I'm exercising proper discipline. My finger's not on the trigger. It's just alongside. So, I mean, this doesn't seem to be, they weren't exactly seeming like a threat before. I'm kind of surprised that Azure took the approach they did, but, well, Azure's kind of roided out right now, so at least she didn't punch them in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it doesn't matter if they get punched in the face.
Good point.
I mean, the mold could have spread to Azure's hand and become like some sort of contagion. So,
well, that is the thing. Hamish, you see, I take it to Chris, obviously, but there is this slightly obsessive thing about figuring out what the structures mean. Like there is a meaning, but what is it? So I think it is fair to say that you can act normally, but Hamish will see that something is bothering you. Is that fair?
Yeah, that seems reasonable. And I mean, apart from this weird faceless person off in the distance, I was planning to basically sit outside in the mist and like stare around, even though I can't really see anything because of the fog.
Yeah, maybe I'm sat with Saffron, like just watching them from the side, just like, come on, lad, it's nothing much out there. And then I hear like some noise from where, Azure is over the wall and Nida's on the wall, and people, we've got other people around and everything. And Hamish will jog over, leaving Saffron to contemplate their newest obsession.
Cool. So,
I mean, if we want, I will. If Azure has this guy pinned in Nida's covering, I will jog out to try and talk to the guy.
Cool.
Having seen how well Azure's negotiations go.
Okay, so when they see you, the reaction is a bit of panic. So they struggle against the grip.
Hey, it's all right, lad. I mean, like, I don't know if you can understand what look is on my face, but I'm smiling. That usually means that things are going to be all right,
You're showing teeth. That can't be good.
No, like this thing it's all about the cheek. You see this bit, and he pulls this thing, and it looks horrible, like a rictus.
Yeah. They recoil.
Yeah, look, sorry. We're off on the wrong foot. Hi, my name is Hamish McRainbow. and we're here, and we're just a bit worried that you're sneaking around outside our camp.
Okay.
So if you everybody calms down, my very, very strong friend here will let you go, and we just need to know what's your intentions here, and how we can all get along. I mean, you may be welcome to join us if you're nice.
I'm not going to join us. That is for sure.
Well, that's fine. Each to your own. I just, never turn away a stranger in need. That's Hamish McRainbow's saying. Ask anyone. But what brings you here, anyways?
It's just we need to make sure that the colony is in no threat.
What, your colony, where you live?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're not here to threaten anyone. We're just looking for some friends. We met these found folks on the road. They're going their way. We're going to go find our friends. No, not interested in your colony at all, honestly.
Well, what are your thoughts about rules?
I mean, I'm not a big fan, personally.
The tension seems to leave a little bit from their body. Good. We don't like them rules.
You don't like rules, but you live in a colony. Okay. Is this like a colony of anarchists? Because I could get down with that. Sorry, I've probably said it's probably like it's just like smiles in it you don't comprehend. Sorry.
So they struggle again.
I'll say Azure, if you're back,
I'm back.
I've reassured this bloke that he is this faceless bloke that there is nothing that we mean no harm. We're just here, blah blah blah. The situation. He seems to be mostly concerned that we're a threat to his colony, and he seems to be reassured when I say that I don't like rules, and he wants to be let go. So I suppose that's really up to Azure whether he gets let go or not.
Yeah, I'll slowly, I'll slowly release the half Nelson, ready to pounce should he try to spore or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As soon as you let them go, they take a step back.
And I'm just like, hey, it's all right. Thing is, that was a sign of good faith, right? You understand the concept of good faith, right? Now you can see all of my friends, right? We're all back there. Now, how about your friends? Because I wouldn't want any kind of misunderstanding to get a bit, interrupt this lovely conversation that we're having.
And they say, I might be naive, but I'm not stupid.
All right, well, I gave you a chance, son. I'm just saying. We don't want any trouble, but if you come looking for some, you know where to find us, yeah?
So they slowly make steps backwards, hands raised, making the without having apparent eyes.
Yeah, and I'm like, listen, son, if you need anything, bag of sugar, anything, just come on over, and we can have a nice. You can find us for breakfast.
And he takes out while disappearing into the fog, he takes out the notebook, writing something down, probably about sugar.
Well, you meet all sorts, don't you, Azure? And I guess we go back because.
So by the time this is all over, let's say it is actually evening, to see what the weather effect is. So you can conclude that the weather changes at sunset and at dawn. But it miraculously stays the same. So So it is foggy, and there's this glowing fog for the night. Do you take any kind of precautions? Do you travel regardless? Do you stay for the night? I think you already said that you stay for the night.
Yeah, we'd circled the wagons. I mean, I'm sure that we've set a watch. You know, I mean,
Cool.
it's like we've got Gatling guns. We've got snipers. Why would we not set a watch?
I'm on a new round of Golden Amber thanks to Hamish, so I can just stay up all night.
Yes,
and
that is true.
prowl. So
you're just going to stay up all night and grind your teeth. Come on, we know.
And push-ups, do push-ups, maybe clean the bathroom with a toothbrush. You know, the usual stuff.
So let's have like a campfire scene maybe. So you're inside. The villagers have that they have collected more firewood. I think Vigo is playing the flute before going to bed. Is there anything you talk about? Or is the planning, I mean, the planning phase is gone, but is there some kind of other kind of interaction between the four of you?
I lean over to the crew and I'm like, you know what? Vigo's flute annoys the shit out of me. I wish he'd cut that out. Fucking hate flute.
I think you might have a point there. You know, now that you mention it, I can't ignore it. Why did you have to bring it up?
It's like a fine drilling into the base of your neck. You know, makes you fucking nuts.
Listen, Azure, if you're going to fix anything with the caravan, just could you maybe have a word with Umberto about where he clips his toenails? And I think the camera would pan over to Umberto, who's currently clipping his toenails in public and trying to get the clippings into the fire.
Yeah, snips them.
I think I'm just like, the flute annoys you, but like look over there, the villagers, they really like it. And you like see a couple of the villagers just being like really appreciative of the music Vigo is playing,
like swaying left to right.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
I kind of
holding up like candles.
I kind of want to see if there's any information that I can get from Susu about the surrounding area. Maybe see if if they have any food we could trade for, supplies.
So let's see. Susu, I think it is I try to describe it a little bit like a submarine situation. So everybody is really close to anyone else, and she lies in her bunk already and talks over to you, and she says, well, we don't know much about the area ahead, but I can tell you about the area we passed through. So there's obviously the sky bridge, which if you want to cross it, you really have to be careful. It's and you shouldn't be afraid of heights, I guess. There's no railing, it's razor thin. It's a nightmare. Then there's the three sticks with this this weird hum that is in the air all the time. And we have seen in the lower spines.
Lower spines?
Yeah, the lower spines there. It's the forest beyond the Sky River. We have seen, like I would call them lupine half-humans, but some people call them werewolves. You should really be, like we were being in full turtle shell mode during the night. Then there's the boulder fort, really difficult to cross. You need to get some help from the beavers. Then there's the Garnet Fort, and you definitely need to get some help from the nomads. And then there's the Rose Towers, which is, just beautiful. We didn't manage to get closer to them, but they are a sight to behold.
And that's the Rose Towers?
The Rose Towers to the south of the Garnet Fort, west of the Cholan Woods. There's this crazy floating jellies in the Cholan Woods. I'm not sure if you can harvest them or are they even sentient or something, but they are strange. I don't think that they are from around here. And with around here, I mean our planet. And if you go further south, there was shortly before the jade baobab, there's this gray glow, which is like I don't know. It seems to be some kind of like two-dimensional projection of something, but there are people coming in and out of the gray glow. So I don't know if it's like a portal or hell, I don't know. Did I mention the Milky Orb?
I don't think so yet.
There's the Milky Orb, which is just east of the Three Sticks. Perfectly sweet sphere. I've seen, when we passed the Three Sticks, it was clear weather, it was sunny, the weather changes every couple of hours. And there were villagers from Jade Baobab and Iron Pike. They hate each other, but they all went to the Three Sticks to, I don't know. I'm not sure what they did there. But anyways, the Milky Orb, beautiful, perfect sphere.
You travel quite a lot, don't you?
Well, we survive, and now that we have the opportunity to really make money, we need to get to the Spectrum Palace. Do you travel a lot? And she looks at your, tattered, not tattered, but well-worn clothes. You do seem to travel a lot.
I do nothing but travel. My homeland doesn't really exist anymore.
What's your homeland?
I'm a Yellowlander.
I heard about it.
Yeah. The Legion of the Farsight took me in and trained me and gave me skills and a job and a purpose. And so now I try to help people whenever I can. I try to keep the roads safe for people. If I see people in need, I do what I can to assist. And I try to make sure that information about travel conditions and possible threats gets spread around as much as I can, so that people can travel through more safely.
That seems so nice. How
you could almost say heroic, right? Like a band of heroes who walk the wastelands, guiding weary travelers back. Yeah.
And I kind of put my face down and grin, because it's really difficult not to like Hamish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't always back up everything he says, and the stories are often exaggerated, but it's just so it's oddly charming.
And Zuzu asks you, are you also part of the Legion?
Oh, I wouldn't be part of any club that'd have me. I'm Hamish McRainbow. I go my own way.
And I kind of chuckle and say, what he's saying is that he can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Zuzu laughs.
And I draw the fractal blade. And I say, with this, I cut down the elemental beast of blah, 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 because I forgot to make that words. And I tell the tale with my brave companions.
Yeah,
that's true. He did in fact strike down a Ka elemental from the back of the truck.
What? That is insane.
And in the city of the porcelain princes, we struck a blow against tyranny in the name of the shattered chain and of freedom everywhere.
Oh wow! I heard about this. You know, they blew up part of the palace. Well done.
That's also more or less true. The palace was less blown up than we dove through it with a walker.
Do you still have it?
No, we don't. It seemed better not to be traveling with property of the stolen princes or the porcelain princes.
She looks a bit disappointed.
But Hamish here also fought the cannibal hamsters.
Oh, the dreaded cannibal hamsters. They're beneath your very feet, across the land. A darkness gnaws away, running in a wheel of eternal doom.
And you see, like the heads of like 10 or so children hiding behind under the blankets when you say that.
Yeah,
and the head sticks out.
And Montauk
okay,
tails
kids.
and stuff.
All right.
Hamish was there to defeat them.
So we, while Hamish, I don't know, do you have a beverage with you when you're telling the tales? Obviously. I think we fade out on that scene. So the next morning, let's see what the weather conditions are like. It's different weather. Yay. Let's see. So when you wake up, obviously it's still dark because there's the red haze of, you know, normal strange weather. Oh, nice. And you wake up with depressing rain that dampen personalities. All intelligence and charisma checks are with disadvantage.
What a fucking day. Oof.
Yeah.
At least it's not foggy, right? I guess. Sits on the ground. In a bad mood for all of this rain already.
So the villagers, they prepare to move on, and you know, I think Umberto and Vigo are supposed to drive the to join them.
Yeah, and
the Beth,
yeah,
and the Beth. Okay, so and the Wicker Golem and the
Metal Golem are going with the caravan.
Okay, cool. So it's
2 seconds. Let me scroll back up because I've got the notes about how he divided everything up. So we're sending Umberto, Vigo, the Wicker and Meadow Golem, the Beth, the 4 halflings, the bone auto wagons, the 6 sacks of marrow beets, 13 weeks of gas, and although this is information that NIDA has kind of concealed, only 2K coin. That's enough for supplies, gas if they need it. And I'm just kind of stashing the 40K coin, you know, like it's 4 bricks or whatever with us. And we're bringing 3 sacks of marrow beets, 2 weeks worth of gas, and Austin's.
Nice. All right. So
there's else we have to account for there. And otherwise, I'm assuming all the other cargo, et cetera, is going with the bone wagons since they are bigger.
So while the walker slowly disappears, there are children and other villagers waving back to you. And disappearing into the purple twilight. What do you do? Unless you're also traveling west, which would be slightly awkward because they're waving and you're traveling with them.
We're going north, right, to check out where the caravan would be.
So you're traveling through the Hare Woods. Let's see. And because this is hex crawly, let's make a random encounter roll to see what you come across. So nothing. Cool. What you see though is while you're, I mean, the trees are not so close to each other that you can't use the pickup truck to maneuver. It's a bit slow going, but it's definitely manageable. And what you see from the car is once in a while a so-called swine deer in the distance. In the trees there are some kind of owls, but these owls speak like parrots, and they repeat phrases that they have heard. So they say, Agent 17 here, I see something very suspicious. And another one says, let's see, we've the spores got them, haha. You also see, like, when you're moving further to the north and northwest, I think, Nida, you sometimes see a suspicious figure that is not one of these weird agents. So, and they're always outside of, direct contact or anything. But let's say, what gives away that they have some kind of fox nature? They seem to be human, but they move somehow foxy. How does that manifest?
I think it's every so often you see a bit of a blur, almost like seeing double, but when that occurs, there's something that almost looks like a tail behind them, like a thick, bushy tail.
Nice.
And then when the blur resolves, that disappears.
And while you reaching, because now you're really far north, let's say after a couple of hours of driving, let's make a throw to see if you see that. I think 2 in 6 is realistic. Nope. You reach the border of the forest, and before you is a plain which looks really pleasant, and it is what you have heard, the beginning of the Gall Grass. So let's see. I read out what it is, and it's relatively high, like much higher than sea level. A wide, high, and dry valley, decked in the pungent yellow stalks and interwoven galls of the slow dreaming. I have to redact this. Grasses. Yes, that is what you see. So you press on, I assume?
That's certainly Hamish's vote.
Does it look like there's anything worth investigating?
Tell
you what do I see through my scope?
So if you look at the plain, the wide, high, and dry valley, let's see. I think you actually you definitely spot some wagons far in the distance. Let's see. So I think it's about like 8 or so wagons, and you do see like it's really, really far away. It's another definitely more than half a day of travel. But you do seem to see like something resembling buildings, maybe. And if you like look over the land back to the hairwoods, if you want to spot something maybe hidden, you would need to make a successful wisdom check.
All right. Rolling with advantage because of the yellow lander.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is 7 under 10.
So further north, so the Gall Grass is to the northwest, and further to the north, inside of the hairwoods, there seems to be like a an old stone archway.
Okay. Is there anything else interesting about it, or?
Nope. Not that you can see from here.
Okay.
And of course, because it was a success, let's say you were like observing the whole land.
Mm-hmm.
On the Gall Grass, you seem to also see something moving away from the wagons, like in some distance, but also moving away from it.
Does it? I mean, when we say something, it's probably not like a missing caravan, for example.
No. It seems to be like it's it's just dots on the horizon. So it could be animals, it could be people.
But like small things as opposed to something very far away that could be huge, kind of.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
so human size, roughly human sized.
Yeah.
And those wagons are moving north as well?
No, the wagons and the buildings are static or stationary, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, we need to find these caravans, don't we?
Yeah.
I'd press on then.
So the last roll was depressing rain, which is good apparently. Now let's see what, because now it should be nearing the evening, and at sunset the weather's changing again. Although it doesn't seem to be as prominent as further south. So actually, you don't. You're not really close enough to have that effect. So I think the rain turns into like a slightly less depressing drizzle. And also, we have heard that the higher landscape is also much drier than the rest of the Three Sticks Lake area. So when you travel over the landscape and over this grass, interesting. We need to make a misfortune roll. So who hasn't made one of these fun rolls yet? It's misfortune. Okay, Abe, let's do it. Roll a d20 and add, if you have, probably you don't, your charisma modifier.
Are you saying I'm not charismatic?
Yeah, you are super charismatic, but not charismatic enough for a bonus.
7.
7. Oh.
Sweet.
That can't be good. So that affects everyone, I think. Interesting. So you're nearing the evening, you are at the caravan, and it is, I don't know what gives away, Saffron, that these well, I guess what gives away that these are purple folk is that you see the desecrated bodies of about a dozen or so dog-headed people lying on the floor, apparently dead, and some of them are gnawed on. Holy shit, we have lines and veils. Let me check them. Take it back, maybe. Let's see. We have cannibalism is veiled. You can see that there were.
I'd say that's if we just left it there, that's it.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, we're not seeing it happening.
Yes, yeah. You see the effects, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. Is it enough people? You know, like, do we think that there could be survivors?
You like if you you can see that the amount of wagons. So there are I don't know what I said. Like six solid wagons. I actually wrote it down. Let me check it, because maybe you want to steal them or anything.
I mean, I'm more interested in, are there anybody left to save?
Yeah, I understand. So if you see the number of wagons and the number of bodies, you would say that they are all dead. They've started building something. They started like they laid the foundation to like wooden huts or anything, but something befell them.
How many cannibals are there?
Cannibals?
Yeah.
Well,
are there any bodies of the enemy here?
No. You don't see any bodies of the enemy. And again, not going into any details, but I don't know. What do you do? There are no other people other than dog-headed purple folk.
I mean, it's not clear whether this is self-inflicted or
dead, aren't they? I mean, dead's dead.
But the question is, are there survivors? And
No.
are other people in danger?
No, I don't think he counts up the bodies and things like that. I reckon this is all of them, to be honest. Because that's what Horst just said.
So if you look at the bodies, like without really investigating any kind of mystery or anything, it does look so that they some of them lie in the open, but some lie in their wagons, and they are all the ones that lie in the wagons and are dead. They're clearly they was clearly sleeping. They don't seem to be that doesn't seem to be a fight or anything.
Okay. I mean, do you guys want to loot them? It seems to be the obvious choice, other than getting the hell out of here. I don't know what you guys want to do.
How about if we burn the whole thing down? There are some unsettled souls here, and a good old-fashioned fire might help them out on the next route, the route to the next place.
So I'm looking around for tracks to see if it looks like anybody got away, or if anyone, was this just the party literally itself? And I mean, in terms of the veil, I just want to avoid like graphic descriptions of it, like people chewing on livers and whatnot. So
I'm ready to tell you all about people chewing on livers, but I respect the veil. So the first, like when you look at the bodies, you do seem to. It seems to indicate that the chew marks have been applied post-mortem. And concerning tracks, they are pretty obvious to a trained scope like you. They're obvious tracks leading away from the camp. This, I mean, just looking at the tracks, you wouldn't say that they are necessarily human. They seem to be a bit smaller.
Since you pointed out that there's tracks leading away, we all kind of wanted to know what Austin's take on this was. Do we burn it, say, here there be dragons, and move on to go find the Greenlanders, or do we go look after the tracks in the grass, or what's his take on it?
He says, yeah, he also investigates the tracks and everything, the bodies, and he says, I want to get the identity of all these people and get it back to their families. That's my main concern. I don't know if what the danger here actually is. Is it the tracks leading away, or is that the cause of the death?
Well, maybe you take a look at these. We'll keep an eye out, and then we'll give them the burial we can, which is the fire, and we'll move on. Maybe we can save some other lives.
So Austin goes from person to person and checks their belongings for anything that would give away their identity.
I guess we use some of our gasoline to set this place on fire, or some of their gasoline, or whatever. I guess
So the place is really dry. So the rain, the drizzling rain, stopped. At noon or something, and there's something in the air that just you see the bodies, and the bodies, they are incredibly dry, like something sucked the liquid out of them, and all of you feel really thirsty as well.
Oh, fuck. It's an environmental hazard.
and we best move
quickly.
Burn it. Let's go.
How much gasoline can we get from their vehicles?
They had solid wagons, so they all had burden beasts that lie there. Not the skeletons, but also desecrated.
Then I don't even think we need to use an accelerant. I mean, we can just pretty much put the bodies to the torch and get out.
Yes. Yeah. While searching the wagons, you do find a sack of medicals. Magi medicals.
Can you paste that into chat or put it in chat?
Yes. Which is ointments and supplies for treating wounds and stuff.
It's a bunch of healers kit from D&D.
Yeah, it's like something like that. So, let's see.
That's useful. We should toss it in the truck.
And yeah, well, it is now obviously dark. You drive in the dark back.
We've got lights.
I think we're going east though, aren't we now? We're going to go straight to the Greenlanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, back to the road and then east, I guess.
Medical.
Certainly we won't be stopping until we're far away from this place.
Right.
Okay, so you drive back east, and I assume that probably Azure at some point is driving, because she doesn't tire, while the others sleep. And you reach the edge of the plane. When dawn is coming, but dawn again just means that the dark is exchanged with this purple twilight. Let me see. Do you have the power radio in the Redlander truck? Where's the power? I think it is in the bone wagon, isn't it?
I think so. I think we put it in there for flavor.
Yeah, it's in the Redlander truck.
Oh, it is.
Yes. No, wait. Sorry. No, it's in the auto wagon. Sorry, I always get those two confused because. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the truck with the Gatling gun, and then we've got the auto wagons that we noted for. Yeah, the auto wagons in the.
So Azure, even you feel a bit tired after driving all night. How do you keep awake? What do you do?
Another golden amber.
No. Another one? Did you say that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like, I mean, it's running out, right?
Well, it stays there for a week, and you just popped one in, yesterday.
Oh, it just winds down as opposed to being like,
Yeah, it is like it's kind of sweating and losing mass. And the beaver sweat, as it is called, that is what keeps you buzzing.
I mean, so rather than here's a whole another dose for a week, could he not pop in a fresh one instead? Like change the batteries kind of thing, like for that fresh hit of golden amber. Like
if she is willing to take the pain and the blood loss, sure.
Well, it would just reset it to a week anyway, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So like whether I yank it out or not, I'm still done for a week.
Yes.
So I'll just take it. I'll just do the other one, and do like the meth trucker kind of thing.
Okay. So it is extremely painful. You also have to subtract 1 HP from your life. But you're rewarded with a fresh buzz and clear.
What a reward!
Yes, clear look at and there's always like the first hit is some kind of euphoria. Although I guess it brings you to the edge a little bit. But you don't fall asleep, that is for sure. And you also don't want to go to sleep after the sunset. So now you're in the Hairwoods again, and everybody is waking up. The place where you spent like the last 48 hours in starts to smell like 4 people living in a very confined space.
one of whom is a dog.
Well, a cybernetic furry dog. I think they smell less bad.
They probably smell better, yeah.
Better than Hamish.
Yeah, but
yeah, I'd do that, yeah.
The drizzle.
So we smell like a wet room of 4 people.
A wet cybernetic prairie dog.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I'm slightly hypoallergenic, but I still smell like a prairie dog.
Nice. So anyways, you travel through the, let's get another roll in for the, where's my list? For the, actually, you are, south of the Hairwoods where you are. I mean, you've seen that area when you passed through the Hairwoods before. But there is like a pretty desolate stretch of land. Let me just get out the description if I find it. A small grassland between the lower spines and the Hairwoods and Vickers Beach. It is an expensive sorry, it is an expanse of wild rye living in, let's redact again, and there is this very like there's a lot of what's it called, lichen and stuff growing on the ground. But that's south of you. That's not really where you pass through. Anyways, let's get a roll in. That is let's see. Okay. Yeah, and you pass through. I think neither. You have the feeling again of being watched.
Whereabouts are we on in respect to the Teal River?
Let's see.
Are we in are we in column D or E or C at the moment?
Oh, let's see. Oh, you have another map. Let's see. Let's go back. Google. Everything's very slow.
I don't think we've crossed the
Sky River
yet.
Okay.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
Still,
Yeah, I
don't know
say
we
we get to the river.
I'm just gonna, I'm not asking anybody to stop, but I'm just gonna take a quick look around through my scope and see if I see anything.
mm-hmm.
Let's
get roll for that.
Yeah, I think that the obvious information you get is you can find, I think, the stone archway again. You can definitely see to the south where the moldy region was. That the whole landscape seemed to move, like almost as if the earth itself was breathing, like it's rising and falling slowly. But if you want to see what or who watches you, you would have to roll wisdom.
Alrighty. Double ones.
Well, that is a success. It's not a crit, but it is definitely a success.
Because it has to be 10 under to be a crit, correct?
Yeah, it needs to be a crit. Is exactly your stat. That is a crit.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, actually from the border of the forest and the Gall Grass, you see something small, like child size, I would say, trying to hide. Like when you take out your scope and you look north, something moves quickly behind a tree. And in that split second, you could see like a small leathery face.
So probably not a threat.
They seem to have sharp teeth. You've seen sharp teeth, maybe a tiny threat.
Sharp teeth, huh? I'll just relay it to everybody else in the truck, but I think we're probably all in favor of moving on to try to get to the Greenlanders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is the morning. Let's get another weather roll. That is something else. Oh, that's nice. So you travel east. Do you want to reconnect with the road at some stage, or do you keep the height? Like you're north of the road.
I mean, the road would give us faster traveling, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely. At some stage, maybe when the purple haze dissolves around noon, you hit the road, and as you said, on the road itself, traveling is much quicker. You pass Vickers Beach again, and Saffron, when you look outside of the window, now the whole area is in clear daylight. Everything is much more obvious, and you can see that inside of these multicolored sand dunes that have been pushed together into these strange forms. There are actually what looks like almost courtyards. Let me get this straight. Let's see. Yeah. So bang in the middle of Vickers Beach is a pile of gloriously colonnaded oval courtyards, and then within these courtyards, there's the what gives the area its name. The locals, I think, in probably Iron Pike referred, like Icing Matilda referred it to Vickers Ear. So there's like an inverted dome that modern people would interpret as maybe like a satellite dish or something. But if you look east, you can see a beautiful display of like waves of rainbows that radiate out of the Three Sticks Tower, and it does seem as if everything within the sight of these rainbows seem to grow quicker. So you can see like mushrooms popping out of the ground and flowers blooming.
If we don't drive fast through here, Azur's going to be too big to fit in the truck.
Does the truck also grow, though?
Truck is not a plant. And neither is Azure last time I checked. But, I don't know, during the sensation, everybody can reduce one stat point that has been lowered temporarily. If you have, I think Azure had this with her intelligence. I don't know who else.
Yeah, my intelligence got knocked down by 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah. So you do recover 1 just by viewing this magnificent spectacle.
Rainbow stroking his beard.
It's a sign.
No, they built that in my honor.
Your legend reaches very far indeed, Hamish.
Very prescient of them.
They knew I was coming through, obviously.
Yeah, they knew you were coming through hundreds of years ago.
Long awaited.
Prophecy.
Yeah. That is a new angle he hadn't considered, being a hero of prophecy.
Oh, no.
But I don't think that he's quite that level of fanatic of belief in himself to go and be like, right, now we must find out my destiny in the Rainbow Tower.
You have to be a bit egocentric to assume that the rainbow has been, displayed for your.
Hey, I could easily
Have
be seen
you met
another game.
Hamish?
Yeah.
In any case, so you traveling like the beautiful. There's these 3 sticks to the east. There's obviously the near moon to the what is it, south, and you approach like the cliff's edge, where before you is another magnificent view. Is it Sky Bridge? So you're high above the river itself. And the Sky Bridge is exactly as terrifying as it sounds. It's a translucent 3-mile razor arcing over, ever so gently over the Sky River. The problem is that it is not made out of anything. You can only see that there is a bridge because there's the suspension. I don't know what's it called, ropes, cables, exactly.
Yeah, that hold it up.
That hold it up are grown over by lichen. You can't even see the cables.
Oh.
And the bridge itself is pure what is referred to as stuck force. So some kind of force that keeps you from falling.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't bring the caravan, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Why can't anyone build a normal bridge around here?
What even is normal?
I mean, good question.
I mean, if the lichen at least means that we know that it's there, right? Like we can see there's something there. So my suggestion is that I'll walk in front of the car and I'll make sure there's some bridge in front, and I'll poke a stick in front of me as we go, and you bring it up behind. And I know we'll be slow for 3 miles, but it beats coming up. Maybe there's an invisible pothole or something. We don't want to, you know?
Yeah, makes me wish we had a giant glitter gun or something.
Well, I was just thinking this would have been a good time to cross in the mist, because we would only see 30 feet in front, but we would see the outline of the bridge in the mist, you know? But
who's driving? Azure driving?
Our cranked up driver.
I think
speed up a bit.
I think in those cases,
all-in-one like security guard / trucker, what have you.
I think it makes sense to have Saffron driving, or Nida, or Austin's, somebody who's maybe a little bit more cautious at this point.
Saffron can try to drive. I don't think they've driven anything since becoming a cybernetic prairie dog. Austin
in that case,
might be a good option.
Yeah, I was going to say, why not me or Austin's?
Austin's is afraid of heights. He
okay.
closed his eyes and said, "Just give me a focus." Yes, rolled up to a ball. I don't want to hear.
Hamish up front, me behind the wheel.
All right.
Sure.
Saffron, can you make a saving throw? Because last time, as you looked at Vickers' ear, another subroutine is triggered.
What is my saving throw? I rolled a 12, which is above my 8, or I get +2 for mind stuff, but that's
that is definitely mind stuff, but yeah, it's still
not good enough.
Yeah. You have this positronic double brain under the glass dome. I think one of the 2 brains is now constantly trying to decode the symbols that form the. And what it means is you get a disadvantage on mental rolls, so intelligence and wisdom. And you're officially obsessed and distracted. How does it manifest?
I mean, I think everyone becomes increasingly glad that Saffron is not trying to drive his truck. Like, Nida is driving, Hamish is up front, poking at the bridge. and Saffron is just like pacing around the wagon. Like there's not space. Like it's the truck. Like it's not a big truck, but still, and it's like
And
one corner to one
so...
corner, one corner to other corner, like staring out the back.
It's like it's maybe the the prairie dog side of you. It is more prominent now. Looking out of the window. Cool, nice. I like it. So Hamish, you tap the bridge. You can see a so-called, well, you don't know what it's called, but it is like reminiscent of a game that we played recently. It is a basketball-sized floating mushroom, and it floats, towards the bridge, and unaware of its surrounding, it gets sliced in half and falls down.
Holy shite. All right. Good job we're on top of the bridge, I think.
And let's see what the weather is like. Because it's deadly in rainy or windy weather, we want to check this. The wave of rainbows maybe disappear. No, they don't. They come out in full force.
Oh, lovely.
And when you see, I don't know, you look around a little bit while tapping the floor. I make quotation marks.
This is terrifying. I can see straight through to the chasm below, and I am still moving relatively fast across. Like every step is basically you should be falling. So, yeah.
So to the north of you, on the east bank of the river, there's a mammoth polished plaza abuts the Sky River, and it's completely clean. You see something moving over it. It is beautiful, peaceful, and serene. 3 miles, walking 3 miles, how much time does it consume if you are on an invisible bridge?
Hour and a half?
Mm-hmm. So I say you are halfway over the bridge when all of a sudden to the north, where the places that I just described, some kind of ancient mechanism probably is triggered, because you can see, you probably do know this kind of fountain like spectacles where there's like jets of water shooting out from different places, forming shapes and almost like a choreography. So a bewildering, beautiful array of fountains and lights which sprays the chill water of the Sky River over 200 meters into the air. Another beautiful visage to behold. But let's see, Nida, just for shits and giggles, can you keep your steering wheel, on course? Because the bridge is, you never checked how wide the bridge is. Hamish is not walking from one side to the other.
It's not. I am doing my best, but it's
yes,
imperfect science, right? So,
yeah. I want to say the truck is slightly smaller than the bridge. So, what would it be to check whether or not one of the wheels end up over the bridge? Is it probably dexterity, isn't it? A dexterity check from Nida, please.
Alrighty, 2 moments.
I'm also open for other, could it be wisdom theoretically? Because
I'm okay with it being dex.
Keeping the wheel steady.
Do you think the Legion of the Farsight plays into this at all because of the dex training and the scope training that we go through?
Well, you need to tell me a story where it's like at least somehow similar situation.
But you make maps and travels and stuff, right? And this has been around for a long time, so.
I mean, that is part of it. I mean, we do report on threats. We do make maps for safer roads and safer routes to the grasslands. I'm mostly thinking of just the balance of just the course that we have to run and the various obstacles, because that's all about maintaining balance. And I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between maintaining balance there and keeping the wheels steady when there's some sort of uneven terrain or some sort of obstacle, because it's like you're going to run into bumps, but it's in a weird way, it's like those goofy Japanese game shows where people have to run across those obstacles over water.
Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, exactly. And like there's little things pushing out to try to knock you off, and you have to.
What's her name? Your
Salbera.
Solbera obviously made an obstacle course for you, and maybe you had to traverse it with your blindfolds on or something.
Yeah, I mean, that is the sort of twisted, perverted thing that he would do just to make it fun. I mean, that might be the only time that you ever get the same course. Like, okay, yeah, you ran it once. Let's see if you can do it blindfolded and in heels.
All right, so make the roll with advantage.
All right,
and I think
is 11. Well, okay, I got double ones again.
That is a success.
That last die kept rolling and turning and turning and turning, though.
That is what dice are supposed to do. So I think once in a while you have the feeling that you're slightly off course, but you can always counterbalance that with a slight movement of your wrist. And at the end of 1.5 terrifying hours, you reach the other side of the sky bridge, where we finished today's session.
I'm going to jump out of the truck and run at Hamish, jump onto him, and plant a big old wet kiss right on his cheek.
Yes, and he's going to stagger back onto the grass, onto the ground, and just grip it with his hands as well. Like, oh, thank fuck for that. We're not going back that way.
Yeah. And this is like the most emotional thing that I think anyone has seen Nida do yet. Like, holy shit, we made it. I'm even going to like give Hamish a hug and a kiss for this one.
Swift drink.
Nothing romantic, you understand.
Oh, of course, yes, of course. This is a celebration that we didn't fall off the infinite abyss beneath us. Cool. So we are, I guess, just on the other side of Skybridge. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, you're on the other side of Skybridge, and you can see the 3 sticks to the south of you on an even higher cliff. How does Azure react to that nerve-wracking experience?
React to what? I'm sorry, I missed the last part.
React to crossing the bridge.
Just gonna.
Or she's used up that it doesn't really affect her.
Yeah.
Were you asleep?
She's on her own agenda. She's like kind of in push-ups mode. So like she's like talking to herself and figuring out exactly how to triangulate the vile parts so that she can enact the apocalypse when she finally gets to the Black City. And,
is that why I had to keep adjusting? Were you doing push-ups in the back and throwing us off?
on the flatbed of the truck, probably. Between the seats.
Is there a problem with that?
So the last shot is on Saffron's face, and what is the last shot of them before we fade to black?
I think it's just like Saffron standing at the edge, just like staring off into the distance. Like we're now, we went 3 miles over this bridge. We're now so far that you can't actually see Vickers Beach anymore, but just this like misty look staring off into the distance as half of their brain is, still spinning about this.